Welcome back, YouTube, to another episode here at WILDMAN Lifts. I'm your host, WILDMAN. Now, in today's episode, you can kind of tell by my voice, I don't sound the greatest, and that's because I had a really bad cold going around. And it's a beautiful day today, and I'm feeling much better, so I couldn't waste today and not work out. So as you can see, I whipped out the strongman log. I'm going to go up to a 1 rep max today. I have a certain number I want to hit just to make sure that I'm maintaining that same strength level that I have, because everything else is taking a back seat due to my road to 500 that I'm doing on the deadlift. I'm much more focused on that than I am on any other current exercise. So let's pop into today's workout, see what we got going on. Now for today's strength giant set, I'm going to be doing the strongman log clean and press, like I said. So I'm going to be going up to a 1 rep max, no belt, no wrist wraps. And this is the best total body movement I can ever think of, because you need all of your muscles to do it. And it's also the ultimate test of your shoulder strength, which is what I'm going to be doing today. Now, as I'm going up in weight on the log, I'm also going to be doing some pull-off press. Great exercise to do for your obliques. It also gets your chest and everything else warmed up as well. So I really like doing this on my pressing days. And jump ropes, because jump ropes I feel like is a great timing tool, a great shoulder warm-up, and works your conditioning as well. That's going to be the strength giant set for the day. Now, I talk to a lot of people about weightlifting because, trust me, that's my favorite topic, obviously. And there's a lot of mixed opinions out there. Basically, what a lot of guys ask me is, what exactly do I do in order to get so strong, be athletic, to build size, and to overall look good? And really, when they're asking me these questions, they already kind of have the answer in their mind, because they've already made up their mind of what they want to do. They just want me to validate their decision. Sometimes that decision is what kind of fad diet is currently going around, and they're all for it. Or supplements, what kind of over-the-counter supplements that people can get, like at vitamin shops, that will enhance their performance. Or if they're looking to go a little bit more advanced and possibly a legal route by taking steroids or some type of PED or peptides, that's also pretty popular right now. And the reason why that they're accumulating all of this data and decision making that they've already made is because they've been watching their favorite elite athlete, that's a strength athlete or whatever, a bodybuilder, and this person is doing all of those things and they are being successful. So therefore, they think it'll work for them. Now I'm just going to take a needle and pop that bubble, because the truth is most elite strength athletes out there, specifically strength athletes I'm going to be talking about, they are naturally born strength athletes. Meaning when they were young boys and they were picking things up and everybody said, wow, that's really heavy, I can't pick that up. Even full grown adults can't pick something up. And this little kid is like, I could pick this up. It's not so heavy to me. That's a natural born, talented strength athlete from the start. Their genetics have already built them a platform for success. Then once they reach the elite level, when everybody is concentrating on diet, peptides, and steroids and over-the-counter supplements like creatine or whey protein, they make sure that they do all of those things and they back up the science behind it, because they're living it and they're getting an edge over their fellow competitors. But there's one big important part in there that we forget when it comes to elite athletes, is they do structured strength programs and they do it religiously. When they were young and they were naturally strong, somebody set them straight and gave them a proper strength program. Then they followed it to the T. And once they plateaued that their natural strength took them to, even though it's elite and above everybody else's, in order to get to that next level of competitiveness, that's when they started looking at sleep cycles, muscle recovery, and supplements, and those special supplements that nobody really likes to talk to. Hush, hush. But the bottom line is they followed some common sense strength programs. And that's what I highly recommend for the average Joe. If you want to get strong and you have a full-time job, a family, and other hobbies that don't include competing in an elite strength competition, then you might as well just follow a common sense program and just let science do the work. So you could take every supplement on the world and shorten your life if that's what you want. But in the end, there's no getting around common sense strength rep schemes. All right, so 235 went up today. No belt, no wrist wraps, and coming down from, I think, a cold or a flu, whatever I had. And I was able to hit this pretty raw and natural. So I'm always happy when that goes. I'm especially happy today because normally I time the clean a whole lot better. So when I catch it, I'm in the bottom portion and I can just use the momentum of the log that's rolling up my body. And then I could just use it to get like halfway up in the air just by standing up. And then I could lock it out with my triceps. That didn't happen today. I got it up barely with the clean. I really struggled with the clean. And I ended up having to pause at the top, which I don't like to do because that's where you start second guessing your life as you're staring straight up into the sun. The log is on your neck, into your chin. You're highly uncomfortable. All the pressure is bearing down on your deltoids and on your hips. And you just have to think like, why did I choose to do this? I'm probably going to fail this lift. Alrighty, so the sun is really hot and this log is getting hot as a result. So I'm going to move into the shade and we're going to continue on with the workout. Now for the variation giant set, I was doing 4 rounds to try to make everything land on an even number because you know how I am, I'm very OCD about that. And I'm going to be doing the log incline bench press. And the idea is to go up to a 6 rep max just to kind of get some reps in. And since my shoulders are tired from doing the log clean and press, now I'm still using my shoulders. I'm still using the same grip that I had on the log, but now I'm able to recruit more muscle, which is the upper chest. And even as I got to my top set, 6 reps kind of moved pretty slow, but I felt like I could go up more, but that wasn't the idea of today. The idea of today was just to kind of get back to it and to really try to focus on the shoulders and recruit more muscle to help me burn out the shoulders in a compound or a semi-compound movement. And I just kept it in the same format as the strength giant set by doing those polyp press. And then I also continued to do the jump ropes. Again, because I'm OCD and I like even numbers. Now for the assistance giant set, I was doing the seated dumbbell press, which again, I recommend highly if you're trying to build your shoulder strength, but it's specifically good to do it after you're done with your main strength shoulder movement. I really credit these to doing better on my shoulder strength and also flipping it every other week to doing the military press in order to get ultimate lockout strength. I typically go pretty heavy on these when it's the variation portion, but today, since it's the assistance, I'm just doing a 10 rep max. So I chose that the 75 pounders was the best route to go for today. And you can see I'm kind of sinking in my chair, which kind of added an extra flair to it. I kind of like that because it ended up being a whole lot harder. And I ended up having to push and have to concentrate and use my core a whole lot more in order to prevent myself from sliding out of that chair. And what I did was, as I was going up in weight on the dumbbells, I was doing farmer walks with whatever dumbbells that I had, just walking around that log on that tire and then setting it back in the garage. And then I just kept it with some jump ropes because jump ropes I felt like were getting me a good pump to the shoulders as long as keeping my heart rate up during the workout. Now for the accessory giant set, I was doing 3 rounds and I was trying something new because the log was out here and I like to use the log and I try to use different things with it. I usually do a standing tricep extension with it. So today I decided to be laying down and kind of doing like a modified skull crusher, but I was going over my head and I was only trying to use my elbows. That's what I was trying to put in my mind because that's where your triceps lock out at. And I was really trying to feel the burn on the triceps, which actually turned out to be pretty good. And then I would just drop it on that tire, walk around, and then I would do some tricep push-ups on the log on that tire because that makes that log wiggle from being in that position. So I have to hold my core a lot tighter, which I kind of feel like carries over a lot more into the chest and the triceps. And some face pulls. I don't need to explain face pulls. I do them after every single workout, some type of variation of face pulls for shoulder longevity. And that was the total workout for the day. Alrighty, so that's going to conclude it for today's workout. I really appreciate everybody stopping by. I hope that you learned something new and that you enjoyed working out with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.